Yep, here we go. All right, watch the onside kick. 27 check. All right, to the house on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Falcons wearing their throwback uniforms from their first season, 1966, and their head coach, Mike Smith, in his second year, says it's been frustrating. We haven't played with the consistency or the precision that we would have liked. But they are home today, and the Buccaneers won the toss, and they have deferred, so they'll get the ball in the second half. And Connor Barth, who is the third kicker of the season for the Buccaneers, will be kicking off to the dangerous Eric Weems. And it's a short kick, and Weems will return from the 6. Weems, who scored a touchdown last week, is finally put down at the 24-yard line. And Matt Ryan coming out, 11-1 at home. And Charles mentioned he and the head coach have the same records, and he's 4-0 against division foes here in the Georgia Dome as well. The Falcons offense, and they expect to build on a great second half against the Giants. Even though they lost, they scored on 4 straight possessions. And even though Michael Turner may be limited at running back, the return of Jarius Norwood and Jason Snelling means that Atlanta's very solid in the run game. So Turner is starting, inactive against the Giants last week. Passing on first down and nearly intercepted by Aqib Talib, and that pass way off the mark, intended for Roddy White. Let's take a look at the Bucs defense. They are dead last in the league against the run, and they've also given up 31 points a game, way down at the bottom, Charles. And their veterans are excited about playing their new defense, which is really the old Tampa 2 scheme. Second down and 10, and Ronde Barber, of course, well familiar with that. There is Barber. Snelling, Turner, and Norwood are both all in there. It's a full house backfield.
This is the first charge timeout, Atlanta.
So the Falcons call a timeout, and they came out full house, which we haven't seen for many, many years in this league. But they also got a look from Tampa Bay that they weren't expecting on defense, got a little confused. Either they were worried about their own personnel, as we watch Matt Ryan taking a look at the defense and trying to get his team orchestrated. Roddy White goes in motion. Ronde Barber switches with Aqib Talib. It appears Aqib Talib is going to shadow the #1 receiver, Roddy White. And now Matt Ryan doesn't like what he sees, calls timeout. And look at Mike Smith. Not a good start for the Falcons at home here, with an errant pass nearly intercepted and then a timeout. Second down and 10. Handoff is to Michael Turner. Gets running room up the middle and gets the first down to the 34-yard line, where Geno Hayes, the weak side linebacker, brings him down. So a 10.5-yard pickup. Exactly what they're looking for from their big running back, Michael Turner, who's missed the last game and a half with a high ankle sprain. Did not play last week at the Giants. Had 111 yards on just 9 carries before he was hurt at Carolina. They love having that horse back in the lineup. They sure do. 100 yards in 3 straight games prior to missing the Giant game. And a first down, and they go to Turner again, trying to get some blocking. And Barrett Ruud will come in and make the play, as Harvey Dahl tried to give him some room off of the guard position. So a gain of 2 will bring up second down and 8. The Atlanta Falcons, who are right in the thick of the playoff race, coming in at 5-5. Giants lost on Thursday, are 6-5, although the Giants beating Atlanta would have a tiebreaker there. They scored a bunch of points, and on the delay, Turner with the carry and stopped at the 39-yard line. Falcons have been successful in first possessions, a 3-yard pickup on that one. Part of what we're seeing early from Atlanta, Dick, is something that we started to see going back to the New Orleans game, when they were trying to get Michael Turner unleashed. Didn't have the great start that he wanted to the season running the football, so he came up with new formations, new motions, trying to get him started. We saw that full house look again with 2 extra backs in the backfield. And now there are 3 wide receivers in the game. And off of the shotgun, the pass is caught by Michael Jenkins, and Jenkins will have enough barely for the first down to the 44-yard line. So they took out Turner and Mahaley, the fullback, and they went with 3 wides and get 6 yards and a first down.
And based on what we're seeing early, with Aqib Talib, the #1 cover guy for Tampa, shadowing the #1 receiver for Atlanta, Roddy White, Michael Jenkins becomes that much more important. He will be a guy today that Matt Ryan may have to go to a little bit more. So there's the matchup right there, Talib shadowing Roddy White.
4 wide receivers and a penalty flag down as Ryan went down as well, lost his footing and unbalanced. But the penalty flag is down, and the first one of the game. Referee today is Walt Anderson.
Illegal formation, number 77 of the offense was lined up uncovered on the end of the line. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Right tackle Tyson Clabo. So 2 first downs, but kind of a rocky opening possession.
Looking at this, watch the pressure coming in Matt Ryan. Able to take away the passing lane. Geno Hayes, 54, got his hands up. And then right here, that's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Tony Gonzalez, but Rondé Barber had it. But a good job by Hayes getting his hands in the passing lane, taking away the sight lines.
1st and 15, and Norwood with his first carry of the game. Sajarius Norwood, who's been inactive in the last 5 games with a hip flexor. So this team is at full strength offensively, other than Brian Finneran. And there is Norwood, who is averaging over 4 yards a carry, but the most he has gained in a game this year is 44 against the Giants, and they used him much more successfully last year.
And you mentioned exactly why, Dick. He's been hurt. You know, the last time we were here and saw him, he went out of the game before the second quarter was up. So without a lot of playing time, hard to accumulate a lot of yardage.
Outside. You go outside.
Jenkins going to the left on 2nd and 16. Ryan hits Jenkins, and Jenkins tackled immediately. Gets into Tampa Bay territory at the 48, 9 yards with Rondé Barber on the cover.
I think we're seeing Matt Ryan adjust right away to the fact that Roddy White will be shadowed by one of the premier cover guys in the league, and Aqib Talib. So he's going to start to look for other targets. Michael Jenkins coming into prominence early, his 2nd catch on this drive, working against the veteran Rondé Barber.
Pecking away. They have not taken a shot yet, have the Falcons. But now we'll see 3rd and 7. Norwood going out as a receiver. Ryan stepping up, and he's going to be sacked. Ryan is sacked back at the 44-yard line by Tim Crowder, 3rd-year player who was signed in week 2, and a loss of 3 yards. So finally, the Buccaneers defense stiffens.
Matt Ryan looking for Tony Gonzalez, and one of the better 3rd down receivers in the league. A great outlet, but the coverage was terrific by Tampa Bay, and the pressure engulfs Ryan.
Michael Kanan will kick it away, and Clifton Smith goes back deep for the Bucs. Big rush, and no flag is thrown, and this ball will bounce at the 5, and the Falcons will down it at about the 4. Kanan experienced a pretty good rush, but the official right there. Back to Atlanta, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will start their first possession. Chris Redmond warming up, and Cadillac Williams starting from inside the 5, picks up 5 yards.
And this is why Chris Redmond is warming up. Look at Styles White land right there on the ankle of Matt Ryan on the last sack that ended the possession for the Falcons. And during the break, Matt Ryan gets up. Whoa. Goes and sits back down. Now he's being attended to.
And they're working on his foot. 2nd down and 5 from the 9. Cadillac Williams trying to get the running game going and trying to not take any chances with the rookie quarterback throwing from inside his 5 as John Abraham coming in to make the play. And a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 7. And now Michael Clayton is hurt, and Maurice Stovall has gone in to replace Clayton. .6'6" Josh Freeman with time completes it to the tight end, Kellen Winslow, and Winslow will get enough for the first down. So a big first down, and it is early on for the Bucs, who started inside their 5. So the starting lineups for the Buccaneers, and they've had to go a lot of changes this year with 3 different quarterbacks leading the way, and they're trying to find a rhythm.
And the running game has been inconsistent, but the pass game is centered around the tight end, Kellen Winslow.
And Winslow, of course, grabbing that first down catch out to the 15. Ernest Graham goes in motion. And a big play there made by Stephen Nicholas on Graham. No gain on the play. Falcons defense, and the onus really is on them to get better. They're 28th overall and 29th against the pass coming into the game.
And the beleaguered secondary gets another change. Rookie Chris Owens starting on the corner today for the Falcons.
They have had 4 different players starting at left cornerback alone. There is Owens. Rookie from San Jose State. 2nd down and 10. Freeman slant pass, and it's caught by Stovall, who replaced Clayton, who was shaken up, and he is close to the first down and appears to have it.
When you talk to people around the Bucs camp, you talk to people around the league, one of the things they tell you is that Josh Freeman has a lot of poise and presence for a rookie quarterback. Very calm in the pocket, doesn't let a lot rattle him. And right now what I'm seeing him do early in this game is stand tall in the pocket, go through his progressions, and find the right matchup to deliver the football.
5 touchdown passes in his first 3 starts from the 25. And here's Carnell Williams with some good moves. And Williams gets beyond the 30-yard line. And a 6-yard gain with Eric Coleman making the play. And they're working on the right guard of the Falcons, Harvey Dahl. So we have had several players shaken up really early in this game today.
If things keep up like this, you'll hear an announcement for extra medics to come down to the sidelines to help out both teams. I mean, my goodness, Michael Clayton down, as we've seen already. Harvey Dahl being worked on. Matt Ryan. We hope all of them will return.
2nd down and 4. And here is Williams. First down for Carnell Williams to the 36-yard line. So Josh Freeman from Kansas State with a first down at the 36-yard line. Getting the pass rush here, and this one is caught, and a great catch by John Gilmore, the 3rd tight end.
Came from a tight formation. Josh Freeman uses his legs to create just a little bit more time and throws it up to John Gilmore. And look at how he works against Mike Peterson, who didn't see the ball coming. Gilmore with a nice grab, his 2nd of the year.
And we'll correct that. It was Jeremy Stevens who made the
Jeremy
catch.
Stevens. My apologies.
9th play of the drive. 2nd down and 4. And here is Williams. And Carnell Williams diving close to midfield. This drive started at the 4-yard line. And Carnell Williams, who is the leading rusher, held to 32 yards against the New Orleans Saints in 11 carries.
And it's the right side of the offensive line for Tampa Bay. Jeff Fain at center, Davin Joseph at guard, and Jeremy Trueblood at tackle. Doing a really nice job early, opening up holes for their running game. Now that's called finishing a play.
First down at midfield. Been a good drive for the Bucs. Derek Ward. And Ward picking up 1 yard. Mike Peterson making the tackle. And a pretty good ball control possession. First of the game for the Buccaneers.
Last couple of weeks, Tampa Bay's first drive of the game has resulted in points, getting things started for them. Last week against the New Orleans Saints, 95 yards on their opening drive, 12 plays, ends up in a touchdown. Not much else done the rest of the day.
Mike Clayton injured his knee, and it's questionable as to whether he'll get back. 2nd down and 9. Gilmore was going in motion, trying to protect Freeman, who throws the ball wobbly away, and the closest to it was Kellen Winslow. So it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Not sure if he was actually trying to complete this pass or was he throwing it away, but the end result was a good one for Josh Freeman because Kellen Winslow was tightly covered by the safety, Thomas Deku.
Third down and 9. Sammy Strother, number 18, one of the 2 receivers to the right. Pressured, and the flag is down. The play was blown dead.
Before the snap, false start, number 85, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
It's on the wide receiver, Stovall. So now third down and longer. 3rd and 14 coming up. Raheem Morris, who was actually the defensive coordinator for about 10 days before he was named the head coach.
And now he actually becomes the defensive coordinator 10 games into the season. 3rd and long. Let's see if Tampa Bay decides to try and screen here or draw against Atlanta.
Good job of protection. And off the hands of Ernest Graham, incomplete. Graham would have had the first down. So instead it is 4th down, and not a bad job by Freeman to get out of danger here.
Not at all. And what he was trying to do was throw Ernest Graham to where there was even more open space. He was trying to get him to move up the field while he delivered the football and try and pick up the first down. Ernest Graham stayed more in the spot he was already establishing, ends up not getting it.
So Eric Weems is back to return Dirk Johnson's punt. With nearly 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. And this kick will go into the end zone. And Chris Redmond is going in to play quarterback for the Falcons. It is 7th year from Louisville. And Matt Ryan is on the bench. It'll be a first down at the 20-yard line of a scoreless game. Michael Turner, and as he's getting the ball, Rondé Barber greets him, and a loss on the play. Barber had that one all the way, and a loss of 6.
And I think this is a combination, and watch Rondé Barber comes right in, reads run all the way and makes the play. I think it's a combination of Raheem Morris sensing a backup quarterback in the game, sees 3 tight ends in the game, and reads run, and the experience of Rondé Barber also doing the exact same thing.
2nd down and 16. Harvey Dahl, by the way, who was shaken up, is in the game at right guard. This will be Redmond's first pass of this year, and it is incomplete. Roddy White, and it is an incomplete pass as White did not have possession. And right now, let's send it down for an update with Laura.
As you can imagine, Dick, all the trainers have been attached to Matt Ryan's hip or toe. It is a jam toe. They have retaped it a couple of times. He's walking on it right now. They are hopeful they're going to get him back into the game.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. This is amazing. Teams are in the playoffs, and you never know when the key injury, not that Ryan may be out for that long, we don't know, but how it changes the complexion of things. It
changes the complexion of what you have in the ball game, your play calling, and of course how your team will respond with your leader down.
Ryan has called every play until today. 3rd down and 16. Empty backfield, and here's Redmond's pass, and it's caught by Tony Gonzalez, and he gets the first down to the 31-yard line. Go to the reliable guy when you need it. 17 yards and a first down for the Falcons.
The right side of the Falcons line. Tyson Claybo, the right tackle. Harvey Dahl, the right guard. They protect Chris Redmond very well, and he delivers a strike across the middle to Tony Gonzalez, working against the middle linebacker Barrett Ruud.
So a big play and a first down out to the 31. Chris Redmond, who was the backup last year to Matt Ryan, originally drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And he flips it out to Turner. Michael Turner, but there are defenders there. And it's Geno Hayes who tracked it all the way, and a loss of 2 on that one.
The one thing that'll be difficult for Tampa Bay is for Atlanta is running wide against the speed. And here's how Matt Ryan got hurt, trying to scramble out of the pocket, was fallen on by Styles White, which led us to what Laura Oakman has told us is an injured toe that they're retaping, trying to get him back in the ball game.
So there's Matt Ryan, who has run the show the last 2 years, 2nd down and 12. And here is Redmond, and Redmond can't find a receiver, and Quincy Black finally gets to him, and another loss. So the 2nd sack of the game by the Buccaneers, and losses on the last 2 plays for the Falcons.
And what we saw on those 2 plays are the strengths of Tampa Bay. Their ability to use their speed and run, either running down plays or running 2 plays. That's exactly what they did on the last 2. They ran down Turner on the flip play outside, and then this time Quincy Black and crew got to the quarterback.
And it was a team effort all the way.
The concern that Raheem Morris had coming into the game was making sure he was able to crisply and concisely get the defensive calls in. It appears that didn't happen. We're getting the call into Barrett Ruud, the middle linebacker. Remember, the terminology is a little bit different for Raheem Morris versus Jim Bates. I'm trying to translate that.
Redmond gets it out to Gonzalez. 1 tackle missed and stopped a couple of yards shy of the 1st down. Quincy Black again making the play, and Tony Gonzalez with 7 catches last week. His best receiving output of the year, and of course the all-time tight end records are his in catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns as well. So it's 4th down, and Canaan will be kicking. Clifton Smith, who last year returned a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown, with under a half a minute remaining in this 1st quarter. And a flag goes down. And here is Smith, and another penalty marker down, and that would be a post-kick call. So we'll see how they unravel this with 12 seconds remaining. And they work on Matt Ryan's toe, which is the big issue for the Falcons at this point, without question.
Falcons already have their offense back on the field. They feel confident that this call is going in their direction.
And they only needed a couple of
There are 2
yards.
fouls. Both fouls are on the defense. Illegal block in the back, number 29 of the receiving team. That penalty is declined. Offside, number 58 of the defense. That penalty is accepted. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Critical penalty against the Buccaneers. They were going to get the ball back. Quincy Black called for the offsides call.
Watch in this area. See, that's a 1-9 play. All right, when you look at your record and you're 1-9, that's a 1-9 play. That's what coaches will tell you. Anyone who watches the game, you have a chance. You just stopped them on defense. You're getting the ball back, and 4th and less than 5, you jump off sides on defense.
And not only that, the Falcons have the ball with the 1st down on their own 44. 12 seconds remain in this 1st quarter. Chris Redmond in relief on this series for Matt Ryan. And here's Michael Turner. And Turner will get it into Tampa Bay territory to the 49, getting 7 yards as time runs out. 2nd down and 3 at the 49, and the quick going out to Roddy White. And White will get the 1st down and stepped out of bounds. They're going to say at the 26-yard line. But he gets 23, and the Falcons threatening here.
Nice little quick game. Roddy White working on the sideline. Aqib Talib, the #1 cover guy for Tampa, has been shadowing him. Roddy White gets a quick pass, makes Talib miss, and gets up the sideline for additional yardage.
Charles, how do things change with Redmond in there instead of Matt Ryan?
I think that Mike Mularkey wants to put more of the game on his physical, nasty, tough offensive line at this stage. He's going to go ahead and challenge him and say, you want this? Let's use our running backs a little to help this new quarterback out.
Jason Snelling and then running back. And Redmond falling down, and down he goes. Nearly lost the ball inside the 40 as Tim Crowder crowded him on that play. If you're just joining us, Chris Redmond came in after Matt Ryan injured his foot.
he just got tangled up as he was trying to ball fake with the running back. See right there? Looked like Jason Snelling ends up hitting the deck and going down.
So trying to walk it off and see how it feels is Matt Ryan, is Redmond, who 2 years ago completed 7 games and starting 4 through 10 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. So he's a veteran. 2nd down and 19, however. And Redmond getting time, and he completes to Eric Weems. And Weems is out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Still a long way from first down territory, picking up 5.
You just made the point about him being a veteran, a guy who's played in the league, and we just saw that on that play. Not a huge gainer, but instead of trying to force something downfield that wasn't there, he came to his 3rd option, came to the check down, and completed the pass, not giving away the ball, no turnover, as part of being a veteran backup quarterback.
You know, the big thing is he doesn't get many reps during the week. 3rd down and 14. Fake inside handoff, and Redmond's pass, and it's Jenkins who makes the catch, and we'll have the first down. Talk about receivers knowing where the sticks are. Jenkins did there, and a gain of 14.
And what about the throw by Chris Redmond? He's got Rondé Barber underneath short, Aqib Talib over the top, and he threads it in there for Michael Jenkins to the wide side of the field. So that tells you he's got plenty of arm.
3 catches for 29 yards for Jenkins, and it'll be a first down on the 21 in this scoreless game. Michael Turner back in at tailback. And Redmond with time, throwing up the middle, and flag is down. Ronnie White had beaten the defender. But we may have an offensive pass interference on a push-off called against the Falcons.
There are fouls by both teams. Holding number 73, offense. Illegal contact number 54, defense. Those fouls all set. We'll replay first down.
So you're looking for Harvey Dahl right there in the middle. That's where the hold takes place, as he's working inside against Roy Miller. And then downfield, watch right there, working against Roddy White is Geno Hayes, and they get him for the illegal contact. Mike Mularkey allowing Chris Redmond to throw the ball early in the count. That was a first down throw on the last play.
Gonna run this one to Turner. And a good play, and Geno Hayes makes the play, but Tenard Jackson came up from the secondary to force it. Turner gets 3. Now Matt Ryan, who's noticeably limping going into the locker room. In fact, he looks worse off here, Charles, than he did when we saw him on the sideline a few moments ago.
Well, as the adrenaline starts to settle a little bit, and sometimes the pain creeps in a bit more.
There's that full house backfield with Snelling, Turner, and Norwood in there, and they've gone on a delay. Give it to Turner. And the Buccaneers doing a very good job in this first half of run defense. That was Roy Miller, the rookie from Texas. No gain on the play for Turner, who has averaged in 8 carries just 2 yards a clip. That's a pretty good job by the defense.
Part of the change with Raheem Morris calling the defensive signals is allowing the defensive linemen to get upfield a little bit more, become better penetrators, not worried so much about taking what they call 2 gaps. One on each side of a man. Now you can get into one of them, get upfield, knife in, and make a play. They did that on the last one.
Just go right after it.
Just go after it.
3rd down and 7. From the 18, out of the shotgun, is Redmond getting the push, and down he goes, and Styles White. And the 4th sack of the game by the Buccaneers. So Raheem Morris, who has taken over the play calling, and a lot of the players said we prefer this style. They're more comfortable with it.
And Styles White, number 91, working against Sam Baker. Great job. Watch how he dipped and then came right through Sam Baker. Remember, Sam Baker's playing with an injured left elbow. That's a tough side to have the left elbow hurt, because that's where the rush is coming from.
45-yard attempt after the 9-yard loss. Struggling Jason Elam. And Elam's kick is good. And there's the scoring drive, giving the Falcons a 3-0 lead on Elam's field goal. Redmond 5 for 6 in the drive, and it was only kept alive because on the punt, the Buccaneers were offside. Quincy Black very aggressive, and the Falcons score, but it's been a kind of a crazy game thus far. Matt Ryan with a jam toe already in the locker room. Redmond has taken over, and the Buccaneers already with 4 sacks against the Atlanta Falcons. So the kickoff into the end zone. And we welcome you back to the Georgia Dome. Matt Ryan with the jam toe, foot out, and Michael Clayton with a knee still on the sideline. And Maurice Stovall has taken his place. And a first down from the 20. Josh Freeman completes the pass to Stovall, and Stovall gets 8 yards. Second down and 2. Here's Carnell Williams, and he's going to be stopped for no gain by Croy Bierman as we go down to the field to Laura Oakman.
Thanks, Dick. All right, as you said, as we saw, Matt Ryan limped into the tunnel with that jammed big toe. Basically, what the Falcons keep doing, the trainers keep retaping it, not having any comfort with it. They're trying bigger shoes. It hasn't fit. So now they are trying to work on it in the locker room, make it more comfortable, and they're still hopeful he's going to be back.
Thank you, Laura. 3rd and 2. Overthrowing Sammy Strother, and 4th down coming up.
I think that play was really more on Josh Freeman than it was any pressure that Atlanta put on him. It's a throw that he's going to need to complete in order for this Tampa Bay offense to get untracked a little bit. 3rd and 2 has Strother in the flat. If he just puts the ball on him, it's a first down for Tampa Bay. He missed.
And goes right over to Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator who took over for Jeff Jagosinski 10 days before the start of this year. So on 4th down, Dirk Johnson will be kicking. Eric Weems goes back for Atlanta. Shorter kick this time, and Weems is going to let it bounce. In fact, not the best for Dirk Johnson. Back here in Atlanta, and a change in the offensive line. Will Svitek has been in for Sam Baker a couple of weeks ago when Baker suffered a sprained ankle. Baker's been shaken up. Sore left elbow as well, so Svitek now is the left tackle as Redmond goes back to work. Raheem Morris calling the defensive signals, and so far the Bucs defense has been impressive, to say the least. First down on the 42.
And out of a
This will be
timeout.
3rd and final timeout, Atlanta.
Out of a timeout, Dick? Out of a stoppage in play?
Falcons call their 3rd and last timeout, which means they can't challenge the rest of this half.
Yeah, and they thought that they had time coming off of the sidelines. They didn't realize the play clock was already ticking down, thus having to take the final timeout.
From the 42, Chris Redmond. On the design rollout. And down he goes. Quincy Black makes the tackle after a gain of 6. John Parker Wilson, in case you're interested, would be the 3rd quarterback.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to get down to that number, Dick. But look at the hit Chris Redmond absorbs. Got to think about grabbing some turf earlier than that.
2nd down and 4. Norwood. Good move by Norwood. And a first down. Darius Norwood, who's been injured, inactive the last 5 games, and it takes Hayes and Cox to bring him down. Not before he chalks up 18 yards.
And the strength of Tampa Bay's defense is their speed and their ability to pursue. So what's the best thing to do? You got to hit them straight away. And that's exactly what Atlanta did. Darius Norwood on just a nice takeoff play. Inside, excellent blocking up front. Will Svitek, 74 in the game for Sam Baker. Justin Blaylock, 63, the guard. And it turned into a big play. Welcome back, Darius Norwood.
And Roy Miller is the injured Tampa Bay Buccaneer at the 50-yard line. So coming into this possession, The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had nothing but high grades with their defense. They have 4 sacks already, the second most of the year. They had 6 in their only victory of the season against the Green Bay Packers. But the running defense has been the problem, and Norwood just exposed that.
And we spent some time with Tenard Jackson talking about Raheem Morris as we look at his resume. Kansas State defensive coordinator, where he became familiar with a young man by the name of Josh Freeman, who was a freshman quarterback at Kansas State at that time. Came back to Tampa Bay to be the defensive backs coach, elevated to D coordinator, and then head coach in a 10-day span. The ranks, you just mentioned it, Dick, rush yards allowed, 32nd in the league. We saw evidence of that on the last play. This is a team that trusts Raheem Morris. Tenard Jackson said, hey, I knew him as my defensive backs coach last season. So now, having him as our defensive coordinator is really a plus for us because we believe in him already.
So there you see Miller coming off on his own power. As far as the rushing yards, the Falcons have rushed for only 39 yards. That's not a high amount after Norwood got 18, but we're ready to go. A first down on the 35. There's the total yard story. Snelling into the game and not much there on first down. So we're midway through the second quarter. Dick Stockton, Charles Davis, and Laura Oakman, the Atlanta Falcons, who are starting a 3-game home deal where they've got the Bucs, but then the Eagles and the Saints coming up after this, and obviously coming in feel that this is a game they've got to have coming in 500. But they're in a struggle right now with 2nd and 8 coming up. Redmond's pass, and it's caught by Jenkins as he goes out of bounds, and a first down to the Tampa Bay 21. 12 yards on the pass play.
Michael Jenkins is off to a nice start. Watch him run down, just turn out a little speed out route, and Chris Redmond, he may be a guy who doesn't get many reps with the first team, but the timing impeccable on that one. Ball's out of his hand before Jenkins is fully into his break. Delivers it, first down Atlanta.
From the 21 now. Press coverage on the left side of the receiving, and Turner is going to be knocked back and will lose a yard on the play. Quincy Black making the stop on the play. Black has made several good defensive plays, but was also guilty of going off sides on the punt, which gave the Falcons new life, and they ultimately responded with a field goal, and that's been the only scoring in the game.
And he responded there with a nice play. Now the young man just going to hang his head about a mistake, comes back, tries to help his defense out.
2nd down and 11.
For the double stack with the receivers.
And the shovel pass to Norwood. Darius Norwood scores. $22 yards for the score. And yes, Mike Malarkey, you can take a little refreshment here.
He takes the focus to the double-stacked receivers and then hits them inside. See, he spreads both the receivers on each side to the outside, opens up the middle, and they run the shovel pass inside to Darius Norwood for the touchdown.
So that's a passing touchdown, and the extra point is good. Falcons have opened up a 10-0 lead with Matt Ryan with the jam toe in the locker room. A 6-play, 58-yard drive. Norwood getting 43 total yards and his touchdown run, making it 10-0 for Mike Smith's team. Redmond, by the way, after missing his first pass in relief, Matt Ryan has hit 7 in a row. Now the Falcons will kick off. Clifton Smith is deep for Tampa Bay. Deep kick by Kanan, and the Bucs will start out at the 20.
Take a look. This is what Mike Mularkey does. He puts the focus right there because of the two receivers out there. And you see Rondé Barber, he's looking here. Watch where the play occurs, back over there. See, they got both sides doing that where they got the receivers that have to be taken care of. Mike Mularkey takes the spotlight to the receivers out wide, hits it back inside with Jarius Norwood. And how about Chris Redman? Long before Jarius Norwood got to the end zone, he knew the touchdown was about to happen.
First down at the 20. Derek Ward is the back. John Gilmore is the third tight end, and play action for Josh Freeman. Drills it, and it's caught by Antonio Bryant. A bullet downfield by Freeman, and Bryant makes the play at the 42-yard line, a 41-yard gain.
This is what they've been lacking all year long. Antonio Bryant has had a bad knee. Hard for him to practice much during the week. He missed 2 games recently. On this play, Max protected Josh Freeman, gave him plenty of time, and Bryant went downfield and makes the big play for Tampa Bay.
Ty Hill made the tackle. Huge gain into Atlanta territory and a first down. Fake to Derek Ward again. Freeman going left, and another great catch by Bryant, who goes in for the touchdown. That did not take long for the rookie quarterback on 2 long passes, 41 and 42 yards, both to Antonio Bryant for the touchdown, and on both occasions taking advantage of Ty Hill.
Have to love Tampa Bay's aggressiveness, coming right back at Atlanta and not just saying, okay, let's just try and run the ball and not let the score get out of hand. Hey, we're coming back right after you. Back-to-back big plays for a touchdown.
And Connor Barth with the extra point, and with 5:40 remaining in the first half, the Buccaneers are back in the game thanks to rookie Josh Freeman and Antonio Bryant. 2 tremendous passes.
Nice job of ball handling and faking by Josh Freeman. Antonio Bryant, not much of a bump from Ty Hill coming off the line. Then look how he uses his body against him. Talk about Bryant against Hill. Uses his body almost like he posted up in basketball and received an over-the-top pass. You know, when it was one of the point guard enters it from the top to the big guy down low, who's established position, he catches it, bounces up, touchdown.
I've seen that before.
You've seen that once or twice, haven't you?
3rd touchdown reception for Bryant, and the 5th touchdown pass for Josh Freeman.
So impressed with that young man. The ball handling is something that typically comes later for young quarterbacks because they're so concerned about just getting the play executed. It takes a lot of patience and confidence to execute the play fake, especially when you're with your back to the line of scrimmage, because the young guys are worried about getting hit there. And he did that, rolled out, and then threw a beautiful pass going against his body.
And that's where the Falcons have had a lot of problems on the long passes. Passes beyond 20 yards, and they came in the game 29th against the pass, and the rookie took advantage in a hurry. And Matt Ryan is back on the field, and here's the kick. Eric Weems from the goal line, and down he goes. Well, Matt Ryan back on the field, first down, and Redmond hands off to Turner, and Turner is tackled by Barrett Ruud, and a loss on the play of 4 yards on first down.
Tampa Bay's speed is their main asset. If you're going to run against them, watch Barrett Ruud identify. Turner's going to try and get here and bounce it out. Watch Ruud, straight ahead pursuit, gets into the hole, and as Turner tries to bounce it, he runs it down. Most of the good plays you get running the football against Tampa are straightaway power plays.
2nd down and 14. From the 5-yard line, Redmond completes to Roddy White, but he's hit immediately by Geno Hayes. And a gain of 7 with under 5 minutes to go in the half.
Earlier in the ball game, Aqib Talib was shadowing Roddy White. #1 corner versus #1 receiver. The last couple of series, they have not been doing that. That was straight zone that Tampa was playing. Roddy White found a hole, but Tampa right on the spot made a play on the ball and a tackle immediately.
3rd down and 6. A lot more perspiration for Mike Smith than he had anticipated in this half. Redmond is 8 of 9 for 106 yards. And the shuffle pass for the touchdown. And will be sacked again. Styles White with his 3rd sack and the 5th overall by the Buccaneers. Remember, they had 6, the most they've had in any game in their 1 win against Green Bay.
And this team is playing for their head coach, now defensive coordinator, also Raheem Morris. They took away Tony Gonzalez in the middle. Barrett Ruud underneath. Sabby Piscatelli, the safety, over the top. Chris Redmond had nowhere to go with the football, and the rush got to him.
So Michael Kanan will kick from the end zone, and Clifton Smith looking to give the Buccaneers good field position. Beautiful kick, great hang time, and a fair catch called for by Smith at the 33-yard line. A 55-yard kick. So how does Raheem Morris feel about that 5th sack of the game?
See, that's the exuberance that we saw from him as a defensive backs coach, and what many expected to see when he was named the defensive coordinator. But then when he became the head coach, some of that exuberance has to go away because you're worried about everything managing the game.
So, Charles, why do they change the defense away from this to begin with?
Well, he thought that a lot of people were not catching up with the Tampa 2, but he wanted to be more versatile, much more of a hybrid, have more options in what he wanted to present as a defense.
First down, and the slant to Maurice Stovall, getting 9 yards.
And to finish that point, what we're seeing from Tampa now is not Tampa 2 on every single snap. We are seeing the hybrid that Raheem Morris wants. Some of the stuff that Jim Bates implemented, some of the things that he brought with him from before, a few changes in coverage, a little extra pressure here and there. We're seeing the Tampa Bay defense morph into something better today.
By the way, Jim Bates is not with the team after deciding whether he would come here or not. He is not with the club. 2nd down and 2. Freeman has completed 7 out of his first 10. Here comes number 11, and this one is caught as well by Kellen Winslow. And the Buccaneers have a first down at the 37-yard line with Nicholas and Coleman on the play, a pickup of 21.
Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, has not gone shy in this ball game. Watch the protection from the guys and what they give Josh Freeman. Look at this. Running back picks up people, plenty of time to find his target downfield. That's a nice throw over the top of the underneath receiver.
From the 37, first down. Derek Ward, and it was Curtis Lofton who hit him immediately. You know, listening to you discuss, you know, the Tampa 2 and the variations reminds us of when people talk about the West Coast offense, which isn't a pure offense. There are different variations as well.
So many variations around the league from the way Bill Walsh taught it. There have been a lot of different branches. Each guy has his own twist on what he wants to do with the Tampa 2. John Gruden to Steve Mariucci to Mike Holmgren, right on down the line. Same thing with the Tampa 2 defense.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Brian Van Gorder is the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. The graphic underneath, not a number that makes him especially happy. 2 of those 20-plus yard plays allowed have happened in the game today.
2 minutes remaining and 2 timeouts left for the Buccaneers. They're on the 36 of the Falcons. And the play is blown dead. False start penalty will be against the Buccaneers.
Before the snap, false start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
And, you know, Charles, this is a situation the Buccaneers are really, you know, look like they're ignited because of their defense and those 2 big offensive plays. And obviously, they've got to get something here. If they go in 10-7, it'd be something lost, I would think.
I think it'd be a little bit of a disappointment the way the offense is moving the ball. You were right. The defense has ignited them. But the rookie quarterback, Josh Freeman, has had ball security issues in past games. Not at all today. He looks poised and confident.
There you see the total yardage, and Tampa Bay has most of it. Here is Freeman's pass caught by Sammy Strother, and he'll be, and a flag goes down, and it'll be against the Falcons. See if there's a personal foul. They were a yard short of the first down as Lofton and Chris Owens combined, but it was Lofton.
After the play, Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And you want to talk about a bad penalty, this is one.
Yeah, and this is one you wonder to yourself, okay, did he get pushed into this play? He's already down. And he just dove on him at the end. It's almost like he got caught in between. Do I or don't I? He launches, and he did, and that's going to cost his team extra yardage.
And a first down to the 15-yard line, and Lofton, who's having a terrific season at middle linebacker, one of the best linebackers in the National Football League. So it's a first down. By the way, Josh Freeman is 5 for 5 and a touchdown since the Falcons scored their touchdown.
And he's got Antonio Bryant to the top.
And on the draw play to Ward, and the Falcons drive him back. But forward progress will give him 2 yards, and it was Jonathan Babineau who led the charge for the Falcons.
When Josh Freeman took over as the starting quarterback, Raheem Morris was asked, well, what does this mean for your playbook? Do you have to condense it a little bit to help out the young guy? He said, no, not at all. The playbook stays wide open, and why not? Look what they've done in the red zone.
You never believe this with the 1-9 record, that they're so good in the red zone, but we'll see. Second down and 8. There's Strother, Sammy Strother, but the Falcons are there. And it was John Abraham, who's looking for a better pass rush, came into the game with only 3.5 sacks, a loss of 3.
Watch here, watch the play at the top by Chris Houston. Playing zone, they got a zone blitz, and he reads it right away and sees the swing pass to Sammy Strother, bypasses the coverage with Antonio Bryant, and comes up and makes the tackle.
Chris Houston was right there first. So it's third down and 11. Freeman's pass not even close to Stovall. So fourth down coming up, and a field goal attempt coming on as the Buccaneers will attempt to tie the game.
Maurice Stovall is a special team stalwart for Tampa Bay, just really working into the rotation as a receiver. They've been trying to get this done for a number of years. It appeared to me that he was trying to he ran a stop route, and Josh Freeman threw to the out.
Connor Barth in his 4th game has missed just 1 field goal try. This is from 34 yards. And the kick by Barth. No signal given yet, and let's see, there may be a false start penalty against.
Before the snap, false start, number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty, it's still 4th down.
Jeremy Trueblood, the right tackle. So those are really the annoying penalties, especially since that kick was perfect.
And look at the last play where they were trying to pick up the first down. See where Stovall runs that, and the ball was thrown as an out, but Sammy Strother should have gone right here. Look at Sammy Strother working inside. There's Josh Freeman, and I think he's telling Maurice Stovall, you should have been running the out, not the stop route.
So the field goal attempt now will be from 39 yards. And the kick is good. So a high snap, but Dirk Johnson gets it down in a hurry. And so Josh Freeman with 1 touchdown pass, set one up with a 38 to 42 yard back-to-back, and we're tied at 10.
I don't think Josh Freeman is shy about going to the veteran players and letting them know, hey, if you didn't do it the right way, let's get it corrected. And if it's and if he's at fault, he will be the first guy to point to himself and say, my bad. He was working that out with Maurice Stovall, whether it was the right route or not. Good job by the youngster communicating with his receivers.
You know, he has leadership written all over him, doesn't he?
He really does. Very impressive young man.
Eric Weems on the return, and he goes down.
There's Matt Ryan, who went out of the game early with an injured foot, a sprained toe. And Chris Redmond has carried it ever since, and that looked like Harvey Dahl headed to the locker room early, their offensive guard.
And that'll take care of the first half. And tied at 10-10, and Raheem Morris's defense outstanding in this first half, and Josh Freeman with a flash of 2 long passes resulting in the touchdown.
The Falcons are continuing to call it a jam toe for Matt Ryan, but it's bothering him enough that he will not be playing in the second half. Chris Redmond will continue. Mike Smith said game plan doesn't change. We'll continue to run the ball, try to spread it around. As for Raheem Morris, he loves the way his defense has responded. Said they're playing hard, we're playing poised, great communication. He was going to chew out the defensive coordinator at halftime, though, and say, make sure you call better plays, 3rd and long situations, guys.
But wait a second, he is the defensive coordinator. Okay, I got it right now. He was going to chew himself out.
It's a short meeting.
What about the second half now, knowing that Redmond is going to be the guy?
Well, I thought that earlier in the first half that they would put a little bit more on their offensive line, which prides itself on being physical and nasty and violent and run the football a little bit more. They only ran it for 35 yards. Mike Smith told Laura Oakman, we want to run the ball, continue to run the ball. Well, they need to run it more effectively in the second half. Get Michael Turner off. And
the Buccaneers, who won the toss and elected to defer, getting the ball to start this second half, and they'll start on the 20-yard line. And you talk about Atlanta's running attack as we go to their offense briefly. Michael Turner, returning to action, has gained 12 yards on 10 carries and failed to gain on 5 carries. So the Bucs defense certainly doing the job thus far against a pretty good scoring team in Atlanta. But now Josh Freeman, see what he has in his back pocket in the third quarter.
If we flip things over for Josh Freeman, they have not put much pressure on him. What does the book say when you're playing a rookie quarterback? You pressure the heck out of him, get some hits on him, bring the blitzes, try and confuse him. In the first half, he looked very comfortable working against the Atlanta defense.
First down from the 20. Throwing on first down, and out of the backfield is Ernest Graham, and he'll get the first down. Graham not getting as much carries as he's gotten in the past now that he is the starting fullback, but a good receiver, and he picks up 15.
We spent some time with Josh Freeman, before this ball game, and I asked him, where do you get this poise from? Where do you get this calm, this nature that you have about you? And he says it's a combination of my mother and father, but they both taught me. If you're prepared going into something, there's truly no reason to be nervous about what you're about to face. And he's living that right now in the NFL.
First down, and here is Williams. And Williams hit by Curtis Lofton. And a 2.5-yard gain. It was interesting in talking to Josh Freeman about what does a 1-9 team do? He says, well, you actually play make-believe. You make believe you're in the race, that you need a win to get into playoff range and maybe win a division. So you don't get to every snap saying we're 1-9. You have things to think about.
Exactly right. He visualizes things forward. He says next year at this time we'll be playing for a playoff spot. I want to get prepared for it now.
Second down and 8. Play action, and here comes the pressure. And getting away from Abraham was Freeman, and Freeman gets something out of it and is about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. Lofton makes the play, and boy, did he avoid John Abraham superbly.
I thought that this guy here was supposed to be a 250-pound guy that wasn't able to dance in the pocket. But instead, he dances away and gets free. And looking down the sideline, Antonio Bryant tries to break free, but look at that move. Josh Freeman couldn't get it to Antonio Bryant, but makes a positive out of what looked to be a sure sack.
Third down and 2. Crowd looking for a stop. Freeman looking for a receiver, incomplete. Strother, the intended receiver. Fourth down coming up. And good coverage on the play by the Falcons.
This is a real positive play for Atlanta because of the pressure Croy Bierman brings off of the edge, working against Donald Penn. But it's also a positive for Tampa Bay. I'm talking about future positives. Still in the pocket, eyes stayed downfield, just stepped forward and avoided Bierman. Even though the play wasn't completed, you love what you're seeing out of the youngster.
Dirk Johnson kicking, and a fair catch for Eric Weems at the 22. Early here in the third, tied at 10. And Brett Romberg has replaced Harvey Dahl at right guard. He's number 66, and of course Will Svitek had been in for Sam Baker, who came into the game banged up at left tackle. First down on the 22. Michael Turner. Play action. And Redmond is going deep for Roddy White, and through the arms of Sabby Piscatelli, who had a beat on the ball.
And what they did here was they changed the progression, because Roddy White becomes the deep route, but he was really second. It was a little out and up against Talib, who stays there, and Sabby Piscatelli does a great job coming from center field and almost coming up with the interception. But really what Chris Redmond wanted was to throw it short to Tony Gonzalez. That was taken away by the linebackers.
You're right about Piscatelli. He came over there to save Talib, even though he didn't get the ball. Second down and 10, Darius Norwood, who scored the Atlanta touchdown. 10 points allowed. They have 5 sacks. And on the shotgun, here's Redmond going deep. And once again, it was Piscatelli trying to track Roddy White. Flag is down.
And if anybody wants to see the old Tampa 2, we saw it in last play.
Illegal motion, number 84, offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Roddy White.
All right, take a look. Now, you're going to find Tampa 2 because your linebacker runs down the middle of the field with your 2 safeties working their way back towards the hash marks. See right in the middle, Barrett Ruud running down the middle, taking away any crossing routes that may occur. That's your true Tampa 2 defense, the return made today.
Michael Kanan punting and Clifton Smith back deep for the Buccaneers. And the kick is blocked. And the whistle is blown. And it was Corey Lynch, number 41. And he is down. They're going to say he's down at the 9-yard line. He ran in for the end zone. But I believe that the Buccaneers will have the ball on the Falcons' 9. Great block.
And take a look from the right side. Here comes Corey Lynch. Does a nice job swimming back inside against Eric Coleman, the personal protector. You always are supposed to protect the inside, first and foremost, ride them wide. He was able to fake him and come inside. Cardinal rule broken in punt protection, and Corey Lynch benefits with the block and the recovery.
Corey Lynch in his second year from Appalachian State, and it'll be 1st and goal for Josh Freeman and the Buccaneers, and this pass incomplete. Intended for Strother, and 2nd and goal coming up, and a golden chance for Tampa Bay here.
And what Greg Olson, his offensive coordinator, will tell him when they watch film is, young man, I gave you a chance to attack on 1st down, all right, after a big play, and you missed a wide open guy. An inaccurate throw by Josh Freeman doesn't happen very often, but that's one he needs to connect on.
Freeman's pass caught by Williams, and touchdown Tampa Bay. On the flare to the running back Cadillac Williams, an 8-yard touchdown play. And for the first time today, the Buccaneers have forged in front.
And this is what they love about this guy. He missed the last pass, right? Did he hang his head? No. Did he let it affect him? No. Look at how well he throws that football. In the perfect spot. The Cadillac Williams, who has really upped his game in terms of getting out of the backfield and catching passes, and it pays off for the Buccaneers.
And Williams beating Lofton into the end zone, and Connor Barth with the extra point. Bucs go 8 yards, and the key was the block punt by Corey Lynch, who, by the way, at Appalachian State 2 years ago blocked a field goal to preserve an upset at Michigan. So he's done this before, probably before a lot more fans.
3-time All-American at Appalachian State.
Connor Barth kicking off, and Eric Weems is deep for the Falcons, who were leading 10-0 and now trail by 7. Weems on the return. Boy, like a pinball machine bouncing off tacklers, and finally he's down.
We've made a lot about Atlanta and their home field advantage, 11-1 for Mike Smith since he's become the head coach, but the intensity level's upped its way to Tampa. Can Atlanta match it now?
Michael Turner going outside, and Michael Turner with his best run of the day is wrestled down by Tanar Jackson, shy of midfield, and a pickup of 18 yards.
I'll bet you that the Atlanta coaches are telling their guys, listen guys, being home doesn't ensure anything. You've got to play like it matters. And now that they're down, let's see if they can up it, and it seems that they're going to do just that. Michael Turner finally finds some running room in this game.
Turner remains in the game and gets the handoff here on first down and picks up about 3 with Styles White and then Tenard Jackson. Tenard Jackson very active as the free safety, coming up to make tough running plays today.
He combined with Barrett Ruud, the middle linebacker, who actually over-pursued on the previous run by Michael Turner, but not on that one.
And a Falcon is slow getting up, and it may be Michael Turner. This is what happened here. So the free agent pickup of Turner.
See how he's down and gets bent back underneath. Wow. As Barrett Ruud finishing off the tackle, but his legs are back underneath him. So when he gets stood up, and then Barrett Ruud bends it back, Tenard Jackson with the initial hit, and there's Ruud finishing it off with his legs bent underneath him awkwardly.
So walking off the field is Michael Turner. So the 2 big additions to last year's Atlanta surge. Turner, who was the free agent from San Diego, and the top draft pick, Matt Ryan, both injured today. And Harvey Dahl, Sam Baker, and the offensive line also out. 2nd down and 7. Jarius Norwood is in the game at the back position, and here's Tony Gonzalez, and he'll get the first down at about the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of the game for Gonzalez, good for 8 yards.
For a good stretch of the game, they've been able to take Tony Gonzalez essentially out of the offense for Atlanta. But being persistent and smart, you keep trying to find ways to get the ball to the all-pro tight end. The Falcons did just that.
8 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. His best showing of the season last week against the Giants. Justin Peele is in the game at tight end as White comes in motion on first down. Play fake, Chris Redmond down the middle, and open for the catch is Michael Jenkins. And the Falcons have a first down to the Bucs 22, picking up 18.
Good job by Chris Redmond staying in the pocket, taking the hit, and delivering the ball downfield. Watch out for the play fake to Norwood. Turns his back to the defense, gets his eyes back downfield. Hovan, number 95, gets to him, but watch the route Jenkins runs. And then he gets physical at the end. Rondé Barber came up saying, where's the push-off? Where's my call? Not made.
First down at the 22 is Norwood. And a helmet pops up into the air, and it's from a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And flag is down. Penalty marker down at about the 20-yard line after the 6-yard pickup, and Geno Hayes losing his helmet.
Holding number 12, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Jenkins
for the spot of the foul.
called for the penalty.
And here's the play. Here's the penalty. Will Svitek, 74, got a firm grasp of Geno Hayes for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now he doesn't have a firm grasp. There goes his lid, too.
First down and 16. Redmond going short to Gonzalez. And Tony Gonzalez makes the grab at the 24. 4-yard gain with Black and Ruud making the stop.
I'd have to think that the Atlanta coaches now on offense are telling their offensive play caller, Mike Mularkey, every time we go to Gonzalez, it seems like there are 2 guys getting there quickly on the catch. Don't be surprised you start getting some kind of a pump action towards Gonzalez and try and find someone else.
By the way, Michael Turner, same injury, the right ankle. He's trying to walk it off. See what Mike Mularkey has on 2nd down and 12. Here comes the cornerback blitz. Rondé Barber. No one blocked him, and the 6th sack of the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a loss of 6 on the play.
Vintage Tampa Bay. Barber's lines up in the slot, looks like he's in coverage, and then goes straight for the quarterback. The coverage is behind him. No one accounts for him, and Chris Redmond goes down.
Did a good job holding on to the ball.
Yes, he did.
So now it'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 18 from the 31. What a distinguished career for Rondé Barber. 4 wide receivers. And the pass, and holding onto it is Roddy White. And Torrey Cox, among others, makes the stop, a 10-yard pickup. So 4th down coming up, and the Falcons will be forced to try the field goal.
They moved the ball, but ultimately this is what Tampa Bay wants to see. A field goal attempt as opposed to them continuing to take the ball towards the end zone.
This will be a 37-yard try for Jason Elam, who was successful from 45 yards out of the second quarter. Bucs lead is 4.
Rondé Barber is tired of losing football games. It's been a long time since his veteran's been in this spot. His intensity is felt everywhere by his team.
And we haven't seen him smile like he did, especially the look he had after the sack.
Ooh, was that a laser shot? When he came up, did you see those eyes? Woo!
Clifton Smith standing in the end zone as Michael Keenan. Line drive kick, and Smith on the run, 2 yards out of the end zone. Here you're looking at the right foot of Matt Ryan, who is finished for the day, as you can see, and the first snaps that Ryan has missed to injury since joining the team. And Michael Turner walking off after injuring or re-injuring his right ankle. Ryan left at the end of the first drive, the final play. First down at the 23. Josh Freeman with 2 touchdown passes in traffic, and flag is thrown, and let's see whether there's a grounding call. Jamal Anderson was right in the middle. There might be holding as well.
98, right?
Holding, number 75, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Davin Joseph, the right guard.
And I think that Josh Freeman is fortunate that there was no grounding called on this play. I've been trying to locate a receiver in the area. There's the hold on Joseph right there. But I'm trying to locate someone. Ah, there we go. Derek Ward, 28. Okay, there we go. He got caught in the middle of all those big guys, and I almost lost him.
And John Abraham trying to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, True Blood and Davin Joseph you probably could have picked from.
First down and 20. Back on the 13, and Derek Ward. And now the Falcon defense waking up. Troy Bierman, who doesn't start but comes off the bench with a loss of 2.
So the pressure we've seen from Tampa Bay on the Atlanta passers all game, now starting to flip to the other side, with Atlanta starting to get involved in the run game and getting after the passer.
To Bryant. 3rd and 22, and the crowd is full throw here. Up the middle, and Kellen Winslow is hit. They got out of real danger, got out to the 17-yard line, and it was Chevis Jackson who gave Winslow the yardage, 7 to be exact, and 4th down coming up, and the Buccaneers will have to punt from deep in their own end.
It's a nice job by Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator of Atlanta. Decides just to rush 3. Ended up bringing Stephen Nicholas, the linebacker, late to put a little pressure on Josh Freeman and force the punt.
Dirk Johnson will be kicking to Eric Weems. And they're going to let it drop, and the Falcons are going to get great field position. Meanwhile, good field position, first down at the 48 of Atlanta, and Jarius Norwood is stopped by Roy Miller, who was shaken up earlier, as we send it down to Laura Open.
Dick, from bad to worse for Atlanta's offense. Michael Turner re-injuring that right ankle. He is done for the rest of the day.
All right, Laura, thank you. And Turner gained 33 yards on 12 carries. He did have an 18-yard run, averaging 2.8, and Norwood coming out, and Jason Snelling, who's been really doing a great job as a versatile offensive force lately. 2nd down and 10. Here comes pressure on Redmond, and the slant pass to Michael Jenkins, And the Falcons will have a first down with Barrett Ruud covering downfield, a pickup of 11.
I love what Atlanta did in picking up the blitz because Aqib Talib, watch him right here. He came across formation looking like he was going to cover Roddy White, ended up rushing the passer. They picked it up very well and allowed Chris Redmond time to find Michael Jenkins downfield.
Jenkins has 6 catches to lead the Falcons for 70 yards as well. 3 tight ends line up for Atlanta. First down on the 41. And an end around to Weems with good speed, and Weems is shouldered out of bounds by Quincy Black. And it'll be a 7-yard gain for Weems, who scored a touchdown last week.
When you watch Chris Redmond play today, Dick, you made a point earlier in the game about the lack of reps the backups get in the NFL. Watching Redmond work, you wouldn't get that sense, would you? Today, I really believe that his timing has been good, his column has been excellent, and he's doing a very nice job guiding this offense.
Makes the most of whatever reps he gets, apparently. Second down and 3, and Snelling loses the ball, fumble. And it looks like Tampa Bay has recovered. Tim Crowder has recovered for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and they'll get the ball back. And the first turnover of the game. And it may have been Barrett Ruud who knocked the ball loose from Snelling.
Snelling balls in the left hand. There's Ruud punching it free right there. So when he went to make the tackle, he punched it free. And the one thing that people have said about Barrett Ruud, you love his ability. You'd love to see him create a few more explosive or splash plays. That's exactly what he did on that one, creating the fumble.
You know, I think that the Tampa Bay sideline with Raheem Morris and his coaches are just as vehement as their fans. First turnover, giving Josh Freeman and the Bucs the ball. First down, and Derek Ward trying to leap over Eric Coleman, picking up 8 yards in the process. 3 minutes remain in the third quarter. The Buccaneers leading the Falcons 17-13.
Watch this guy right here, Dick. Watch Chris Presley, who they just picked up recently as a lead blocker. Look at him. He gets 2. He didn't get 1, he gets 2. And look what Derek Ward gets after that.
Presley started last week against the Giants. Second down and 2. Ward, not this time. And the Falcons, with Jonathan Babineau leading the way, stopped Ward for no gain, bringing up third down and 2.
Really nice job at the point of attack. Jonathan Babineau and his defensive line mates taking away any creases for the running back and spilled it backwards to Jamal Anderson, who cleaned it up.
So there you see the Falcons have the worst defense with 2 yards or less to go. And DeMar Dotson for the Buccaneers, number 69, is lined up as an eligible tight end. Third down and 2, play fake. Freeman has all the time in the world, and a great catch is made by Kellen Winslow. And a first down at the 48-yard line and a pickup of 15.
Well, that was pretty. And how about Greg Olsen on 3rd and 2, putting it in the hands of his rookie quarterback, going play action. Great protection from the offensive line. And look at how he sucks up the linebackers, and then he has Kellen Winslow running free with a terrific catch downfield. It's almost as if Mike Smith very unhappy about that on 3rd and 2 with what happened to his defense.
Winslow's had a couple of big days this season. Now it's a first down on the 48 of Tampa Bay. Freeman with a deep drop, and the pass out to Derek Ward. And maybe a yard or so on the play, and good coverage by Stephen Nicholas. His first year as a starter for the Falcons. And Nicholas and Lofton and Peterson have really upgraded that linebacking core.
You got the veteran guy in Mike Peterson. And Raheem Morris, when you're ahead, having a good time, loose and relaxed with his team, loves the play that Winslow just gave him. Brian Van Gorder, his counterpart, his defense coordinator, a little more intense at this stage.
Second down and 8, and Ward again. And Ward gets to the 49-yard line. It'll be third down and long for the Atlanta Falcons. And, you know, if I look at Raheem Morris, and what a terrific job, because you can see the difference in the defense. And this is not a knock on Jim Bates. It's a philosophy thing, and the players are comfortable with the way it's turned out. He has the best seat in the house for a fan.
And he gets to interact with the players. Not bad.
Third down and 7. Going to get the first down as Winslow is hit immediately by Shevis Jackson, and that will bring up 4th down after the pickup of 2 yards. And slow getting up is Kellen Winslow. Mike Smith and the Atlanta Falcons 5-5, start of 3 home games in a row, but trailing here 17-13 to the upstart Buccaneers, who have only 1 win. Dick Stockton, Charles Davis, and Laura Oakman with you. 4th down, and Dirk Johnson kicking. Eric Weems will let it bounce. And let's see if the Buccaneers could save it. And they did on the 1-yard line. And Maurice Stovall went high to slap it into the field of play.
And great job understanding that the punt return guy, if he gives up the right to the football, you can go get it. And look at that, Andrew Economos, he's the long snapper. And he came down and caught the tip from Stovall. See? Good right there. And then there's Economos, 1 foot. And look at that, just shy it appears right there. Then Torrey Cox, his foot hit the line, but he's falling on the football right now. So that's where you hear the murmur from the crowd. They've seen the replay. They want to know if there's going to be a challenge from the Falcons about the spot.
Economos, who played his college football at Georgia Tech. And of course, this would be a play that you would throw the red flag for sure, because it would either be the 20-yard line or the 1/2-yard line. So the challenge issued by Mike Smith.
Atlanta is challenging the ruling on the field that the defender did not step on the end line, or excuse me, the goal line.
And we're back here, and the Falcons challenging the call that the Buccaneers had downed the ball before it went into the end zone.
Well, Maurice Stovall batted it back. This is Andrew Economos. He takes it and flips it back. And Torrey Cox goes through his legs. Now they're wondering if his foot right here hitting the goal line constitutes him now being the guy who can't touch the ball. All right, they're saying that you have to legally be reestablished, that someone else has to touch it first. Our understanding is that this is going to be a legal downing of the football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Atlanta will be charged with his first timeout.
Mike Pereira, we were in touch with him, the head of officials of the National Football League, and he is watching this from his headquarters in New York, and indicated that it was legally down by the Buccaneers at the 1/2-yard line. So the challenge,
because I'm sure Mike Smith is, see what Mike Smith's saying is he touched the line. Did he legally reestablish? Talk about Torrey Cox, the 3rd guy. Did he legally reestablish before he's able to touch the football?
And they said he did with both feet. Yes.
That's the ruling, is that he touched the line, but both feet were legally reestablished in the field of play before he downed the football.
Boy, that was huge. And a timeout is charged to the Falcons.
Mike, you know what Mike's thinking? I got to get to that rule seminar next year and voice a few things. But that's the way it reads, and it worked out for Tampa Bay.
Boy, what a challenge win it would have been for him, but instead, starting on the 1/2-yard line, Chris Redman in relief of the injured Matt Ryan since the first quarter, throwing out of the end zone and trying to get it to Justin Peele, the tight end. Incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10.
And this is where you have to be careful if you're Atlanta, because of the new style, which is the old style of defense of Tampa Bay, meaning the one gap, get upfield and penetrate with your defensive linemen. Because here's an opportunity for Raheem Morris to say, guys, get a safety, get a big play. Go through the one gap, try and get the pressure inside, and defeat the one blocker.
And by one gap, you mean you don't have a choice of one or the other?
Exactly. You pick one and you get upfield and penetrate.
Second down and 10. First back through is Obi Mihaly, the fullback, and he gets nothing, gets maybe a yard. So it'll be 3rd and long. Very tenuous situation for the Falcons offense right now. 3rd down, and they bring in Weems, White, and Norwood.
So we're talking about the one gap. Watch Chris Hovan. What he wants to do is get into that one gap, not worry about this here. He's just trying to get to one guy. And if you're able to knife in and then just occupy a blocker, what does that leave? Tenard Jackson, the free safety, unblocked, able to come up and make the play.
And they spread it out with 4 receivers out of the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Here comes the quick pass, incomplete. And yelling for the penalty is Tony Gonzalez, and no flag is down. Gino Hayes had the assignment of staying with Gonzalez, and the ball was fired past him. The crowd thinking there was a pass interference call, and it'll be 4th down and a punt coming up.
At first blush, this looked like a great play, and I still don't change my mind. I think Gino Hayes got there as the ball got there and was able to knock it free, forcing the punt.
So Kanan will be kicking and doesn't have much margin there, and Brian Pittman, who was signed on November 5th after Mike Schneck was put on injured reserve, the long snapper, he gets it off, and a really good kick considering the circumstances. Clifton Smith from the 40-yard line breaks to the outside, and Smith will be down at about the 41-yard line of Atlanta. First down. Pressure put on Freeman, and a deflection as he tries to get it to Graham, and it was Jonathan Babineau who got a piece of it. So it's 2nd down.
And Greg Olsen wanted the big strike for Josh Freeman. It was a draw pass, trying to fake it inside and then hit the big strike to Antonio Bryant up top on a stop and go route. But Chris Houston did a nice job of taking that away, making Freeman check down to try and get the completion underneath.
Darnell Williams, and he is tripped up by Curtis Lofton. Low snap, big pressure, and the pass to Straughter incomplete. 4th down coming up, and Freeman did all he could, Charles, to get rid of it in a hurry.
Had to get rid of it in a hurry, and if you're going to run a route that short on 3rd and 8, you've got to get it to a receiver when he's on his feet so he has an opportunity to make a move. With the pass taking him to the ground, he has no opportunity to pick up additional yardage short of the 1st down.
Dirk Johnson will be kicking, and Eric Weems standing at the 10, and Johnson just trying to get it inside, for him inside about the 10-yard line. So it's not the distance. And now a fake. Dirk Johnson being chased and is going to fire this one up, and it is incomplete. John Gilmore was the man he was trying to get it to.
And you know something? I don't mind this call at all by Tampa Bay. They're 1-9. They're trying to find a way to gain a real advantage in this football game.
There's a flag on the field.
Nice job by Coleman knocking it away. But I don't mind at all. Raheem Morris pulling out the stops to try and make a play here.
And I'm not sure. Now we may.
An eligible receiver, number 53 of the offense, was downfield. That penalty is declined. The result of the play was an incomplete pass. Ball will go over on downs to Atlanta. 1st down.
So as a result of that foiled attempt, Falcons, they have good field position on 1st down, and Roddy White makes the catch. Redmond on the throw to the 41 and a 1st down.
If you're wondering whether it's a fake or not, watch here, because watch what they do. All right, if it's not a fake, they stay inside and block for the punter. Instead, they're trying to get out on routes, and those were taken away. And if you have any more doubt, watch the eyes of the punter, Dirk Johnson. If you're punting the ball, you're looking straight ahead at your drop. Instead, he's peeking off to the right, trying to find where his receiver's going to be.
15-yard gain for the Falcons. And the handoff to Jason Snelling, who gets 3 yards. So it's interesting that Raheem Morris had in mind for Dirk Johnson. A little trickery there to try to keep the possession, but the plan fizzled when nobody was open.
Yeah, Keith Armstrong's the special teams coach of Atlanta. He had them well prepared in case of a fake. They took away all options, and Dirk Johnson back there running around. That allowed the illegal man to drift downfield. You don't really practice that much.
He sure did. 2nd and 7. 2 tight ends. Here's Snelling. Snelling tackled from behind, and it looked like Geno Hayes and Jimmy Wilkerson. So before we indicated that Dirk Johnson was shaken up, and he looks like he's in pain right now as they're tending to him on the sideline. This is the 5th NFL team for Dirk Johnson, who was with the Cardinals last year.
And typically, if your punter gets hurt, your kicker becomes the next in line. Connor Barth become the punter.
Boy, injury's a big factor in this game with Matt Ryan out for the game in the first quarter. Then Michael Turner, the top running back. Chris Redmond has come in and has done pretty well, and this pass is knocked down, intended for Roddy White, and a good play by Derek Roberson. So it'll be 4th down and a good stop by the Bucs.
Watch White cutting across the middle. Roberson right at his hip. Rides him a little bit, but does a very nice job getting the front arm in front of the football and knocking it away.
So it's 4th down, and Michael Kanan will be kicking. Clifton Smith back deep at the 10. Fair catch, and fielded by Smith at about the 7-yard line. Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who gave up an average of 31 points a game coming into this game, have allowed only 13 thus far. Styles White, 2.5 sacks. Tim Crowder has 1.5 and a fumble recovery, and of course Rondé Barber with a huge sack from the secondary.
And this is a team that was giving up nearly 170 yards per game on the ground, which meant that you thought they were made to order for Atlanta, which loves to run the football. So far today, the Falcons only have 75 yards on the ground, averaging about 3 yards a carry.
Chris Owens is shaken up, and he is the rookie cornerback who got the start today as the Falcons endeavoring to shore up their secondary, which has been a weak point for them. There have been several cornerbacks playing left cornerback. Brent Grimes, Ty Hill. Of course, Brian Williams started the year, went on IR.
Remember, Brian Williams was a late pickup in camp who knew the system, played in Jacksonville under Mike Smith, and they picked him up for his veteran leadership and abilities and knew the system, and he got hurt. Tenard Jackson, right as Chris Owens, knocked him off balance, and that may be where the injury occurred.
Well, this is interesting because the Falcons are trailing, and by the way, this is the first time this year that the Buccaneers have not trailed after 3 quarters.
Got him backed up again, Dick. Let's see if Brian Van Gorder decides to put a little pressure on the young quarterback.
Brent Grimes has replaced Chris Owens in left corner. First down, Josh Freeman will throw from the goal line and completes it to Kellen Winslow. Out to the 25-yard line, getting out of deep trouble, an 18-yard pass play.
The Falcons not applying that much pressure with a 4-man rush, which allows Freeman to step up in the pocket and does a really nice job of putting it into a tight slot for Kellen Winslow. Look at that. Pressure way too late. Doesn't distract Josh Freeman at all. And he rifles it in to Kellen Winslow.
Winslow, 6 catches, 53 yards. First down, and here's Williams. And Williams can't dent the middle of the Falcon line. Will pick up 1 on the play. But in this game, the Buccaneers have outgained the Falcons, 242 yards to 228. And the 6 sacks on defense. And a big challenge for Mike Smith's team. First of 3 home games, and it gets tougher, believe me, after this.
2nd and long, and John Abraham, their best pass rusher, came off the field.
2 tight ends for Tampa Bay, and here's Williams. And he takes it out to the 29, where Thomas Johnson limits him to a 3-yard gain.
And here comes Atlanta's pass rushing group now. Abraham comes on the field, 55. Croy Bierman, 71, comes on the field. That means that probably they'll slide Jamal Anderson inside, a defensive end. Normally he goes inside to tackle in this nickel front.
Josh Freeman has completed 17 of 26, 217 yards and 2 scores. Freeman loses the ball. And let's see whether he recovered. It's close. It was Babineau who forced the fumble. And now we're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct as Jeremy Trueblood loses a helmet as tempers flare. And it was recovered by Freeman, or Williams, I think, but both of them recovered it. And the question now on 4th down, what are they going to do about
the punter?
The punting situation. Flag, and they'll sort this one out. Connor Barth, the place kicker, is coming in to presumably punt, as Dirk Johnson shaken up as we saw before.
The ruling on the field was a fumble. It was recovered by the quarterback. It will be 4th down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 65 of the offense for removing his helmet. That'll be half the distance to the goal. It's 4th down.
Well, Trueblood lost his helmet because he took it off.
See, you'll watch Trueblood. There's Babineau knocking the ball free. And then at the end of the scramble, bunch of bodies, everyone trying to get involved, and Trueblood took offense. And this is where the penalty really hurts. It's your backup punter in the game, punting from his own end zone.
Eric Weems is practically at midfield, so here is Connor Barth. And he gets off a terrific kick. And Weems at the 42, flag is down. Weems going straight ahead and getting to the 40-yard line of the Buccaneers. That was the first punt ever for Connor Barth, but 2 penalty flags are down, 1 at midfield and 1 at the Tampa Bay 30. Busy day for Walt Anderson.
If it's against Tampa Bay, they may very well make him kick it again, wanting to test his odds on being able to punt it that well, since he's more normally just a place kicker.
Dirk Johnson and Connor Barth. Good lesson by Dirk on how to punt.
He gave him a quick one, didn't he? It's like your golf pro giving you an emergency one before
Right.
you go out and get that extra 9 in.
Right at the range.
There is no foul on the play. The action was by a member of the kicking team player after the ball was kicked. It'll be 1st down Atlanta.
How happy is Connor Barth? You may not have to go punt again right now? We're good.
Matt Ryan, the quarterback for the Falcons, has been out since their first series of the first quarter. Atlanta had a 10-0 lead, and the Buccaneers then took a 17-10 lead before Elam's field goal cut it to 4. We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a 1st down on the Tampa Bay 40. Chris Redmond has been the quarterback since then, and Jarius Norwood trying to go wide, and Norwood no gain on the play thanks to Rude and Barber. So an interesting game here as Ryan and Turner have left the game with injuries. Redmond has done a good job. 6 sacks, tying a season's high for the Buccaneers. They've allowed only 75 yards rushing, and the story of the game for them has been their defense.
Been aggressive, and looks like they've had fun right from the opening snap, almost as if they've been unleashed a little bit.
Raheem Morris certainly has had fun. 2nd down and 10. Redmond has the ball knocked away, and it's an incomplete pass. He was in the act of throwing the ball. Good pressure from Roy Miller, the rookie from Texas, who has played well as a backup for the Bucs.
Roy Miller right in his face. Redmond's arm trying to come forward, and it does. And Walt Anderson, the official, the referee, right on the spot, immediately signaling incomplete pass. Good call by him. So far, Tampa Bay winning first and second down, leading to these third and longs that have hurt Atlanta.
Falcons are 3 for 11 on third downs, but 0 for their last 6. They need 10 yards. And here's Redmond. He gets time, and the pass thrown underneath. Norwood makes the catch, but short of the first down by about 4 yards. And it's fourth down, and nothing yet from the Atlanta bench.
I think they're thinking about going for it. You're almost in that in-between land. It's a long field goal for your kicker. Your offense, you know, you finally tilted field position your way. Maybe you take a shot right here with 7:40 and counting on the clock.
So what does Mike Mularkey dial up now for the Falcons as Jason Snelling is lined up as a receiver way to the right?
And there goes Gonzalez in motion. He's always a prime candidate.
Fourth down and 4. Here's the pressure on Redmond. The pass caught for the first down by Gonzalez. Clutch catch by Gonzalez, and Redmond put it right there for 9 yards and a first down to the 25.
And watch here, across motion now. There he is, 88 in black, Gonzalez. He's covered on this play. But Chris Redmond decided, I'm going to let you win the one-on-one battle against the defender, and I'm going to throw it up there for you anyway, Mr. All-Pro. And he beats Tenard Jackson to the football.
And Raheem still doing the jumping jack deal, but settles down when he sees the first down. Tenard Jackson was defending against Gonzalez, and Torrey Cox is the injured Buccaneer.
See, I'm sorry. It's not always the issue of whether the guy did a good job or not on defense. Tenard Jackson did a good job on defense. Sometimes it's just a good offensive play that beats you.
And as you look at Mike Smith of the Falcons, you realize something important, that the Buccaneers are giving the Falcons all they could handle, but you got to finish and you want to pay it off with a victory. And right now they're up by 4. They didn't have to go against Matt Ryan today. Redmond's done a good job, but Ryan has been their man. First down on the 25. 2 tight ends for the Falcons. And here is a looping pass, and there is Roddy White with the ball floating down. Incomplete. Good pressure on the play.
Yeah, the reason it was floating, watch Jimmy Wilkerson going into range right here. The defensive end. See, this is why it was floating. Not able to fully step into the throw and release the football the way he wanted to. That's the incompletion. Otherwise, Roddy White has a catch.
Meanwhile, the Falcons have the best record in the NFL, converting 9 of 11 on fourth downs. They got the big one there. Can they make it pay off?
Get 2 tight ends wide, and Gonzalez to the near and Peel at the top.
2nd and 10, and going deep, incomplete. Roddy White against Aqib Talib. Not a bad throw, not a bad leap, but they could not convert, bringing up 3rd and 10.
And Mike Mularkey created a one-on-one situation essentially with formation. There's Justin Peel at the top. He's a tight end. Roddy White able to work in the slot against Aqib Talib one-on-one with the 2 tight ends stretched out wide and running very short routes so that no one goes deep and becomes a second guy making a play on the ball against Roddy White.
3rd and 10 from the 25. Redmond and a deflection, 4th down. Tremendous pressure. Tim Crowder has been doing this all day long. In his 3rd year, signed in week 2, and the starter the last 2 weeks with Denver the previous 2 seasons.
Really nice job getting underneath Tyson Claybo and continuing to walk him back towards the quarterback. And then when he can't get any farther, fundamentally sound, got his hand in the air and knocked the ball away.
So Jason Elam, who has been successful on his 2 field goal tries, this from 43 yards, to try to bring Atlanta to within 1. And this one is not going to make it. He hooks it. And the crowd shows their displeasure. Jason Elam missing his 7th field goal try of the season. A missed field goal from 43 yards, and Mike Smith's reaction, head down. And Tampa Bay will take over, and Arthur Blank, the club's owner, with similar feelings. First down from the 33, Derek Ward. Tackled from behind. Second down and 8 from the 35. Freeman completes the pass to Antonio Bryant. Bryant, of course, the receiving hero, caught a 38-yarder and then a 42-yard touchdown pass for the big touchdown for the Buccaneers to give them the 17-10 lead.
How about that? Falcons trying to stack the line of scrimmage on the last play, Dick. 8 guys in the box, and the Buccaneers said, forget it. We saw the count, we'll throw against that.
Chris Owens back in the lineup at cornerback. Inside handoff to Ward, going outside with it. And tackled by John Abraham after a pickup of 3.
And the clock's starting to become a little bit of a factor, and Derek Ward understood that. Ducked back inside instead of continuing to bounce it outside, where he might have gone to the sideline and stopped the clock. He kept things moving by going down in the field of play. It's not predominant yet, but it is a factor as we hit the 5-minute mark of this game.
Buccaneers have 3 timeouts left. Atlanta only 2 as a result of losing a timeout as a result of a challenge. Play clock running down, and now a timeout is called before the 5-yard penalty. So that'll be the first timeout by Tampa Bay. Second down and 7 on the 49. Flag is down. And a false start call against the Buccaneers.
False start, number 28, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Not just a penalty, but the clock doesn't start for them again.
You're telling me that this game is the appetizer for the Florida-Alabama game?
Tell you what, you're going to see this plays orange and blue and crimson and white come next Saturday afternoon. Probably starting around Wednesday, Atlanta will be painted in those colors.
Second down and 12 with 4:46 on the clock. Derek Ward on a delay, and Ward gets to the 49 of the Falcons. They still need 5 yards. Curtis Lofton making the tackle, a 7-yard pickup as we approach 4.5 minutes remaining. Each team with 2 timeouts left. And Straughter coming in, very exuberant receiver.
He's been their best 3rd down guy that they've been trying to develop. Torrey Cox goes off in a cart.
Cox with a hip injury. 3rd and 5. Josh Freeman's pass, and it's caught by Straughter, the 3rd down man, as you had mentioned. And again, the 3rd down guy, and a 10-yard gain, and a big first down for Tampa Bay. That's huge.
That's Sammy Straughter, the 7th round pick out of Oregon State. Does a nice job, finds the dead air, excuse me, the dead grass, hooks up right in front of Curtis Lofton, and Freeman delivers. Big first down for Tampa Bay.
And now the Buccaneers don't have to be in a hurry as they have the first down just inside the 40-yard line of the Falcons, trying to pull a huge upset here. Only 1 win coming in. Atlanta right in the face of the playoff race. Handoff to Derek Ward. And he was tripped up first by the rookie Chris Owens, and a pickup of 2.
And now they're sending making the timeout game start early for Atlanta.
So the Falcons now will have 1 timeout left. And with a 4-point lead, if it stays this way and Atlanta does get the ball back, they'll need a touchdown to win the game. Field goal will not be enough. Last loss here at the Georgia Dome for the Falcons was against the Denver Broncos on November 16th of last year. And as you mentioned, that 11-1 record for Matt Ryan and for Mike Smith, both in their second years. It's been a great home field advantage. From the 37, second down and 8. And here is Derek Ward. And you could see that Jamal Anderson trying to strip the ball away from Ward. And maybe a yard on the play. And now the Falcons will call their third and final timeout with 3:16 on the clock. And third and long. Falcons have no timeouts left. 3rd and 7, Derek Ward. And he gets to the 33-yard line. And the field goal team coming in now for the Buccaneers. And Dirk Johnson, who has been injured, will come in to hold. And you see limping onto the field will be holding for Connor Barth. And it's going to be a long one, 51-yard attempt. Barth has connected from 39 yards earlier.
And against Miami this year, he had 3 field goals over 50 yards in the same game.
Remember, if they miss, will be good field position for the Falcons. 51-yard attempt, and it's close, and it is no good. Off to the right, barely. Looked like it might have a chance in the beginning, but it faded to the right, and as a result of the miss, the Falcons will have good field position. No timeouts left with 2.5 remaining.
Everything looked good on the snap and the hold. He just left it out to the right a little bit. Wasn't able to draw it back in between the posts. Falcons defense excited going off the field.
And Raheem Morris, come on defense, let's go. And Arthur Blank obviously knows that's good for his team. So with 2.5 to play, that was the second miss of the season for Barth. 1st and 10 from the 41. Redmond's pass incomplete, intended for Gonzalez. Remember, the Falcons have no timeouts remaining.
That was very well covered. I believe that's Rondé Barber sitting right on the route of Tony Gonzalez. Falcons out of timeouts. If they're able to get to the 2-minute warning, they'll get one then. But they have to make it happen here on 2nd and 10.
Chris Redmond, 16 of 27 for 189 yards. Really hasn't done that much since 07. And his pass here, and it is caught by Gonzalez, short of the first down by 2 yards. Covered on the play.
Now they may be out of timeouts, but they are in 4-down territory because they've got 2 downs to pick up this first down. They could run it if they want to.
Redmond on the quick pass, first down, and they get to the 46-yard line. Will Josh Freeman get his second win in 4 starts, throwing 2 touchdown passes today? Or will Chris Redmond, the 7-year veteran, lead the late charge with Matt Ryan out for the Falcons? Falcons can't stop the clock anymore, and Redmond trying to get it to Jenkins. Out of bounds, covered by Mack, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
The pressure continues to get in the face of Chris Redmond. Styles White again applying the pressure. Look at what he's had today. Sacked 5 times, but hit another 7. Hurried 8 times. It's been a tough day for Chris Redmond, but I think he's handled it pretty well considering the circumstances.
And it was 6 sacks overall, including 1 to Ryan. And here's the pass, and it's caught for the first down by Tony Gonzalez. And Styles got a hit on Redmond as well. Styles White. And a first down to the 35, and the clock runs. It's touchdown or no dice for Atlanta. Here's Redmond. And it completes the pass to Jenkins. And he's close to the first down to the 25. With under 1.5 minutes to go, they got 10 yards, and it is a first down Atlanta.
And Styles White has gone off the field, tired, needs a break as Atlanta clocks the football. Michael Bennett came in to replace Styles White. But how about the last play before they clocked it? Styles White tired as a pass rusher because he keeps going after Redmond, but Rondé Barber on the fly. Watch it, look at this. Hits it, and a good job there helping pick him up. Jarius Norwood chipped him just enough to keep him off of his quarterback to allow him to complete the pass to Jenkins.
Aqib Talib is questionable with a hamstring. Elbert Mack is in, as we've told you, three-man rush for Tampa Bay, and this pass is caught by Gonzalez and short by a yard. Short by a yard. And it'll be third down. And here is Redmond's pass. First down to the 10. It's the Redmond and Tony Gonzalez show. And the Falcons are on the 10. They're using now a four-man rush as Redmond clocks the ball and stops the clock with 49 seconds.
What's helped the Falcons on the last couple of throws is Redmond's able to get the ball out of his hands quickly from the shotgun. 3 steps, it would be a 3-step drop if he was under center. Ball's in his hands, ball's out of his hands. That makes it difficult for the rush to continue to get there.
Gonzalez with 9 catches. That's his season's high.
See, if Tony Gonzalez is one-on-one against a defender, you give him the football. The Buccaneers have to decide if they're going to find a way to double him at all in this situation. Here he is in the slot.
Second and goal. Marty Booker is into the game. Redmond's pass, and it's dropped. Booker was hit hard, and there is White with a couple of blows with Elbert Mack. Mack is playing the left cornerback spot, and Roberson in right corner. They bring Booker in for this one play here.
And he goes right inside, right into the teeth of the defense. Well played. Quincy Black, the first guy to the football, knocks it free.
Third down and goal with 24 seconds to go.
I think Mike Smith believes there should be more time on the clock.
40 seconds.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah, Mike's saying 44, but I think he's gonna have to settle for 40. But that's better than the 24 that he was looking at. Raheem Morris signaling in with the call that he wants for his defense.
Third and goal at the 10. And the Falcons need to get into the end zone.
This is the second charge timeout.
Timeout called by Tampa Bay. Not easy to score when you're that close to the goal line.
It's because you have the back of the end zone that becomes an extra defender for you. There's no threat of any receivers running past defenders. So what they do is they guard the goal line and make you throw the ball over the top, which is a much tougher throw to try and complete.
Third and goal.
Tony Gonzalez right there.
He's been the key man. Redmond flush from the pocket. Pass knocked away, and Savi Piscatelli with a big defensive play on Gonzalez. And it's fourth down. And a flag is down. Penalty flag down.
Holding number 29, defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Derek Roberson. It was a late flag. And it's an automatic first down now.
Take a look as Derek Roberson works against Michael Jenkins. Yeah, I would say, yeah. Gonna be hard not to get that. Mike Smith's all over it.
Plenty of time, 36 seconds, and now it's first and goal at the 5. Here's the rollout and the pass, knocked away from Roddy White, and a big play there by Roberson, who was just called for the holding penalty.
Back-to-back excellent defensive plays by Tampa Bay. I know Roberson was called on the hold, but Savi Piscatelli on Gonzalez, and Roberson, after the hold's called against him, right back against the Pro Bowl receiver Roddy White, knocks the pass away. Does this look like a 1-9 team with their resolve today? It does not.
Second and goal. Redmond on the rollout. Throws it away. So now it's 3rd and goal with 30 seconds remaining.
When you roll, you cut the field down. And he rolled into the coverage, and look at that coverage that was there. Albert Mack right there on Roddy White. Tony Gonzalez, he's got 2, almost 3 people when Geno Hayes went out of the picture on him. If you're Mike Mularkey, maybe you come back with the same type of a play and try and sneak someone back against the grain and find him on the opposite side.
3rd and goal. They need the touchdown. Redmond gets the rush. Trying to get it to Gonzalez, incomplete, double covered by Piscatelli and Barrett Ruud. So once again, it's 4th down. And it's all right here. The ball on the 5-yard line, 4th and goal at the 5 with 26 seconds to go. Can Redmond get it in the end zone for a Falcon victory, or can the Buccaneers hold and get their 2nd win of the year?
Key for Atlanta is, can Gonzalez get off the line of scrimmage clean or not? That's who they're going to want to look for right here.
Here it is, 4th down. And now the Buccaneers will call their 3rd and final timeout. That's called freezing the offense.
No need to worry about the kicker. Look at Raheem Morris coming down the sideline, getting the timeout called.
So the Falcons lose Michael Turner with an ankle injury, re-aggravating that one. Gained 33 yards, and Matt Ryan giving way to Chris Redmond. But it's all here.
Raheem Morris wanted to see the formation, called the timeout. Here come the Falcons with essentially the same formation. Gonzalez working against Savvy Piscatelli, a strong safety. Normally they like that matchup.
It's 4th and goal, and the game riding on this play. And here's the pass, and Roddy White makes the catch for the touchdown. Roddy White with a 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Falcons take the lead.
Runs a slant inside, and then is physical, strong in his route because he gets bumped by Roberson, uses his body. We talked about basketball players earlier in the ball game. Guy positions, posts up, and creates just enough space to grab the football for the touchdown. Roberson does a nice job in coverage, but White does just a little bit more to win the route.
7th touchdown catch of the year for Roddy White. The last chance Atlanta had.
And what Tampa did was they had the matchups on the inside receivers, and they used Tenard Jackson, the free safety, where they kicked him towards Anthony Gonzalez and Savvy Piscatelli in coverage, but they went to the outside receiver for the touchdown.
Booth review, and they really didn't need it because that was a clean catch, and he had possession and control all the way.
It was a really nice read by Chris Redmond, because normally you look for Gonzalez in that matchup, but he read the free safety, kicked to that coverage to make it double coverage. So he said, I can't go there. The free safety can't impact the play to Roddy White, and he went there for the touchdown.
Jason Elam with the extra point. And the Falcons lead 20-17 with 23 seconds to go. The Bucs are out of timeouts. And what they need, obviously, is a good return and maybe get in position for a field goal.
So Keith Armstrong, the special teams coach of Atlanta, has a decision to make about how he wants to kick off. Normally in this situation, you want to squib it along the ground because you don't want to give up the big return. But a field goal ties the game. So you got to make sure that your kicker gets it deep enough for coverage, but not so deep that it sets up a normal return for Tampa Bay with Clifton Smith.
Falcons converting 2 4th downs, including the game winner from 5 yards out. And for Tampa Bay, they don't get a shot at a field goal. A valiant game, but a defeat nonetheless. And for Atlanta, a game they needed. Dangerous Clifton Smith to return the kick. And we'll see how Michael Kanan plays it.
Michael Kanan had 5 touchbacks twice this year in a game in kickoffs against the Carolina Panthers, both games.
And he kicks it deep. And here is Smith, a yard into the end zone. Clifton Smith, and he'll go just shy of the 20 by Coy Wire. The Eagles defeated the Redskins 27-24, and that could set up a huge game next week between the Falcons and the Eagles. The Eagles are now 7-4. If the Falcons win, they'll go 6-5. As the Eagles scored 11 points in the last 7 minutes to win.
That game is going to be so big, Dick, that I think it even overshadows that Michael Vick is coming back to town.
Yes.
The game may actually carry it, but the big question for Atlanta, will Matt Ryan be back for that game, pulling the trigger for his team?
And what about Michael Turner as well?
Exactly.
But I agree with you. 16 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining for Tampa Bay. Josh Freeman. And goes out of bounds with 9 seconds remaining. At the 27.
See the instinct there, the young quarterback getting out of bounds, good, but he also was thinking, should I pick up the extra yardage? The clock is the key there, not the yards, because the yards have to come from his arm, not his legs in this situation.
A lot of receivers go out and they go to Winslow.
Better start laterally.
And there goes the play in the lateral. Picked up here by Jeremy Zuta. And it's taken away by the Falcons, who are going to win this game as time runs out. Falcons go to 6-5, and Tampa Bay goes now to 1-10.